Hello everybody, we're here today to talk with Mike McConnell about a crucial topic in cybersecurity, authentication, and the related cybersecurity ideas surrounding it to allow us to do a good job. Mike McConnell is former Director of National Intelligence, former head of the NSA, and an expert in cybersecurity, especially in getting governments and nations to do a better job. Your journey to cybersecurity began when you were director of the NSA, and the internet changed the landscape. You explain in your contribution how you were focused at that point on what the NSA was all about, which was intercepting, radio signals to get foreign intelligence, or to get intelligence on foreign entities. How did your attention move from intercepting radio transmissions to capturing data at rest and creating code to protect critical infrastructure?
The National Security Agency has two basic missions: break code, read the other guy's mail; make code, keep the other guy from reading our mail. So that's its history. If you go back to World War II, in collaboration with the British, we're breaking Nazi Germany codes, the U.S. breaking Japanese codes. Historians say that it shortened the war by as much as 2 years, saved 10, 12 million lives. So code breaking is kind of important. Well, when World War II was over, we had a Cold War. Now we had to sustain the intelligence apparatus. Historically, we build it, tear it down, build it, tear it down. But after the Cold War, or after the World War II, we had the Cold War, therefore we had to sustain it, or decided to sustain it. And so NSA, there was an experiment with a joint command that didn't work, and a commission recommended the president to establish the National Security Agency. It was established. Code breaking, primary focus. And somebody said, wait a minute, we're vulnerable too. Who should be doing the code making to make sure that the Soviet Union can't exploit our communications? And the NSA was given the second mission of code making. Now, if you think about this period, early 50s, nuclear weapons, mutually assured destruction, who has control of nuclear weapons? The president. What is the single most important thing that would happen given we reached a brink of nuclear warfare? Is to authenticate that it's really the president giving the order.
You said that the more you focused on creating code, which was, and when we think of code, we can think of not only cryptography, but we can also think of software code as well.
It is done in software as well as in hardware.
Right.
Basically, it's math.
Yeah, it's all the mechanisms that you would use to protect things,
right,
whether it's software or whether it's with the math. But you said once you started thinking about this, you inquired as to people who knew about cybersecurity at the time, and they said that the backbone of cybersecurity are 5 things: authentication, data integrity, non-repudiation, availability, and confidentiality.
Those are the 5 basic building blocks.
Now, you realized that authentication was the most critical. Why is that?
All of a sudden, I'm the new director of the National Security Agency. Cold War is over. Internet's about to explode. And one of the more senior advisors came in and said, Mr. Director, do you realize that you're responsible for the integrity of the nuclear command and control system in the United States? And I said, oh my goodness, I didn't understand that. Maybe I should understand it better. And then the senior member walked me through the basic building blocks. What he was describing was the one person that could order a strike was the president. The most important thing for the executors of the order to know is it's really the president. Authentication. And you achieve that with mathematics, with cryptography, and so on. And so he went on through the building blocks. The second most important thing was data integrity. If you move the digit, you hit the wrong city or the wrong country. So pretty important. Mathematics, again, we're seeking mathematical certainty. The third part was non-repudiation. Given it was a false alarm and the president said, well, that wasn't me that sent that. Well, you get mathematical certainty that tracks it back to him. Availability, it means it works the same way for infinity. And then confidentiality, meaning do you want it protected from some outside exploitation? But confidentiality, I went into the discussion thinking confidentiality was the most important thing. It turned out in that scenario, it's the least important thing.
I know that was one of the most surprising things about your chapter, how you said that they might even purposely send such an order in clear text
to make go back down.
As a warning.
Exactly right. So if you think about banking, all the rules apply. $100 million going from A to B. Authentication, you want to make sure both parties are who they represent themselves to be. Data integrity, you don't want it to be a billion instead of 100 million, by moving a digit. Non-repudiation, neither side can say it wasn't me. and then availability, it works, and then confidentiality may or may not be a desired feature. You might want to apply it, you might not. Most people start with security thinking the confidentiality part. I'm just arguing the front end of the assurance of the communication is even more important.